Anyway, let's jump into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to Jaraci Cup number 12. Back to the upper bracket. We're casting another game. So this series between Houston and Cookies was already played. I think this is Quarterfinals B, if I'm not mistaken. Gonna be a fun one, this best of 5 series between these two. Really could go either way. Let's see what the faction picks are. It's Conef and Soban. Very, very fun. Check the info.txt here. It looks like Houston does have the pick first there, so Cookies is able to counterpick. And that probably informs his picking Soban. I know that Cookies generally doesn't like the mirror matchup, if I recall correctly, so he's probably trying to avoid that here. And Cookies is in chat, so he can tell us, of course. Cookies bans Kalash Teeth. I like that a lot, because it's Conef, right? And you know that this is a pretty good map for Conef players. And then Houston is gonna ban Torrent Alt. Well, I know he doesn't like that map, so that makes a lot of sense. But he leaves Shallows up. Cookies does, that is, right? Normally you would imagine that Cookies is gonna ban the Shallows. Houston grabs KT Alt for the first game, so that is where we are playing right now. Cookies takes GT Alt, which is a very close quarters map. It'll be interesting to see what happens. He takes Tight End Passage, which we don't see very much. Houston grabs Shallows for game 4, and then the ace match would be on Boneyard. That's Cookies' pick. And yeah, good point, Houston. You smoked the base runner when you retired, so that's pretty much just game over right there. Stop smoking? No, smoke more. Cookie says he doesn't mind the mirror, he just hates it against March 1. Well, I can understand that, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, of course, if you know the history there, I think this was Jaraci Cup 9, where I got like 3-0 against March 1, and then we were playing the 4th map, and he almost reverse swept me. It was like really scary. But yeah, that was a good series right there, of course. March 1's Conef is pretty good. So Cookies is holding the base runner. He's got LAV Fab out here. Note the 0 salvagers on RU right there, right? I mean, he doesn't need RUs, he just needs CUs, so I like this choice quite a lot. He's got the money for an SC when he wants to build that. And I imagine, yep, there it is queued up. So he doesn't need any more guys mining RUs. Really nice build there. Keeping the base runner is interesting though. We don't usually see this, so let's see what his plan is going to be. And for Houston, he's got the ref bow done, but he didn't get too greedy. He already has Sandskimmer Fab, gonna start building them too. And so the burden is kind of on Cookies to prove that he can do a bit of damage here, but Houston, of course, does need to make sure he doesn't undercommit into the defense. Probably wants to get this guy mining too, but you know, things happen. Now, with the base runner in tow, we have the targeting jammer as an option, so potentially Cookies could look for some interesting plays with that. But either way, he's gonna get started extracting the artifacts right away. He doesn't want to waste any time. If he's got this base runner still picking these up. And these LAVs are like right on the border of the contact thing there. It's kind of funny. They're going to start moving in now, and Houston actually making the first aggressive move out with the 2 skims. That actually puts him a bit out of position here, so. Cruise missile is a nice attempt. Houston lands a lot of these things, I gotta say. But not going to land that one. Oh, he's hurting the salvager here. Houston really needs to pull this guy off the line. He might not have been aware, but a really nice cruise missile hit. And that changes things. Now it's 4-on-4 with the health bar advantage to him, so that's good. That's really good. Soul Chip Tech is done as well in just a couple seconds here, but he can move back onto this base if he wants to, and that's actually going to put Houston, I'd say still at a slight disadvantage of Eco for having to pull off the line, but barely. Looks pretty good to me. He did lose that one salvager, though. That's got to be remembered. And, of course, Cookies with the extraction. That's going to be a nice benefit moving into the mid-game here. So, let's see what the mid-game techs are going to be. We do have carry production coming up for Cookies. Building a couple more LAVs, too, perhaps anticipating a counter push. Houston has the assault ships, so he's not really going to get attacked by LAVs here if he controls well. But he can't really push out too well either, because you know, the Saban carrier has the armor break on its railguns, and then these LAVs will eat up the assault ships. So I expect the game is going to stall out a little bit, but we do have a bit of fighting going on over here. Houston wants to pull this one guy back. Yeah, okay, nicely done. And just to get a 1 for 0 there. Of course, he does have the big numbers advantage, so that is kind of expected, but good control by Houston. And AV Fab coming out from Cookies now. And we have that second PC coming out for Houston. Looking like he is going to get a bit of an eco lead then if all things stay even elsewhere on the map here. Ooh, but the targeting, armed logistics module actually nearly catching some skims off there, but it looks like they do manage to escape. Like I said, Houston's got the assault chips. He even has armor 1. Very good. I always try and hammer this into people's brains. They ought to get armor 1 with these things because it helps a lot against assault chips. So, against LAVs. So he's done it. That's good. I really figure that Houston is not going to be in too much danger here. I'd like to see him pull these assault chips over onto this side because he knows that the LAVs are still chasing him. But he'll probably be safe either way. Just has to make sure he doesn't lose these. Does Cookies have assault pack? No. So it's not really too much risk. And here comes that PC. I did notice Houston taking siege cruisers, by the way. Cookies has a sport cruiser coming out. He's going to start filling up the other base. But Houston as well will get up on a 3 base. So it looks like the timings here are pretty even. Both these players giving a lot of respect to each other. They don't want to make any mistakes, you can tell. And I can get that. I'd say Cookie's probably the favorite here, but this is definitely a series that could go either way. And you know, you wanna strike the first blow here. You don't wanna lose the first match or first game of the match. So Houston, as you can see, mobilizing the carrier out to that second base location. Third base, sorry. Excuse me for my inaccuracy. He's got the assault ship here, but he's gotta watch out for the targeting jammer. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is a little bit too far out now. And the skims are gonna sort of back up into it as well, which is not, I mean, actually backing up into it, which is kind of funny looking. Oh dear, he's got to run with these. All of these skims could go down now. Needs to keep building assault ships here. Oh, nice cruise missile though. Yes, if you could jump over the carton. Anyway, actually, this carrier for Houston is getting a lot of work done. Jeez, there's an assault ship that was built here, but he's got to bring that over. He's gonna start losing salvagers here eventually. Yeah, here goes the first one. Was that det packs being used there? Looks like it was. In goes the artifact, by the way. But Houston getting stunned here. Oh no, he's given a attack order over here, so his guys can't even attack on the front line. But still, though, he does kind of have the LAVs trapped. Oh no, he's stopped. If he goes here, he can get the trap on these LAVs. Oh no, it's so close. By the way, for Cookies, it's Battlecruiser Fab. Finishing in just a moment here, so that's not going to be far away. Okay, here we go. The assault ships, are they going to get there in time? Yeah, well, just one shot actually manages to kill one of these LAVs, but no, the LAVs are going to get out here. Does Cookies have any armor? No, he doesn't. So Houston can probably win this fight. I mean, definitely would if he mobilizes these guys. But this is starting to get a little tough because Cookies is extracting a lot of artifacts here. Houston has the, excuse me. Got the hiccups again. Houston has the siege cruiser tech. I'd like to see him building that. Right now he's actually unlocking the carrier, but not really any power in this carrier. I don't think there's too much value in unlocking here. Probably better to get a siege cruiser first. Another assault ship gets picked off there. But yeah, this fight, definitely Houston wins that. But, you know, look at the flank here. Okay. Oh, wow. He actually manages to stop the extract there. I didn't see that happening at all. Bravo. This flank here is really nice, though. I mean, look, Cookies does not even have any armor on his AAVs. He doesn't have the numbers advantage. He's still managing to push his opponent out, right? So, that's really well done. Here, he does need to run, though, but assault ships are slower than AAVs, so he won't be able to chase him down there. Probe here gonna get denied, but it wants to check the tech. It's gonna see the PC, though, and that does give some information about what Houston is planning. But Siege Cruiser tech is done, and he's building it right away, so... How close is Cookies to BCs, though? Oh dear, it's already out. Ooh. Well, that could really change things. Whoa. Someone followed. Alright. Oh, nice. Yeah, I was wondering where you were during the cast of your games. Welcome to the club, boy. Oh, did you target each hammer yourself on the base runner? Oh, I wish I'd caught that. That's pretty funny. This BC right now is really the kingmaker on the field, I think. You've got to watch out for the siege cruiser, of course. Especially when Houston gets the EMP upgrade. There's a world where he can land enough missiles on those battle cruisers to kill them after he lands the EMP on it. But, you know, Houston doesn't really want to fight them straight up, because those BCs, of course, are going to do quite a lot of damage. They have more range than the siege cruiser as well. So this is a fight that just takes a lot of skill, but I think EMP is really crucial in this, so I hope we see him getting that pretty soon. It is expensive, though. It costs like 100 RUs, which they start to become a little bit thin around this point, not to mention the CU cost. You're worried about air, you should have gone. Yeah, I mean, it's a good answer for Conf players to grab the air, but I honestly don't hate the blind anti-air here. It kind of seemed like it was maybe coming. This BC switch, I think, is unexpected. So, by the way, it's a bit of a base trade going on here, but that's got to favor the Conf player in this case. I don't think that Cookies wants to be playing it this way. I say it favors him because these BCs are slow. They're gonna have to take a long time to get around the map, and Houston is already here. That generally makes things a lot better for the player who's already on that side. Oh, but no, Houston is going back. He doesn't want to go back. He wants to stay up here and fight. Kind of a whiff on these as well, and he's carrier blocking the siege cruiser. Oh no, this is really bad actually. Oh, and he missed the. Oh no. Oh, it's all going wrong here now. One of the siege cruisers go down. Just everything is missed here. Oh dear. Yeah, this is what I said. It's kind of like a skill-dependent thing. If you mess up the execution, there things go really bad. Yeah, I can see that. During the smoke here, this is a good time to barrage with the siege cruiser, of course, and the Conf carrier should just keep flonking missiles onto it. If indeed flonk is even a word. Oh, but I guess he doesn't have vision on. No, he does. I'm just surprised he missed with those missiles then. But yeah, things fell apart really quickly there. Oh dear. I mean, in the base race, I think Houston should have won that. But he kind of like panicked and pedaled back, and then all of a sudden things just fell apart. Dang. Yeah, that's an unfortunate way to lose game number 1. Hopefully, though, it doesn't set the pace for the series. We'll see what he can do to bounce back in game number 2. But this is Cookie's pick. Let's jump into it. Galzian territories again. Now, you know, this is potential for Savon carrier rushing. And I know they just played these games, so... Cookies watched me killing Phoenixio like that, so we'll see what happens here. No, I don't think so. I think you played it right, but then you backed away when you went for the base trade, but you would have won that base trade. I think you should have done it. Although that is true. Getting the kind of siege out before making the third PC was probably the better way to go. He smoked? Yes! That's GG right there, man. So what's the distribution here? We only have 1 on RUs. Don't really expect to see Cookies going for the carrier rush here. AC is broken. AC is good, man. I'll tell you that. That is a good unit. We don't see it enough, you know? But, we have ref mode first coming out for you for Houston. Cookie's saying he doesn't have the level of style needed for the HME strads. You know, I can respect that. I can respect that. Not everyone can be such a Giga Chad as HME, right? I mean, it's just not easy to do. SC first, good build. Now, actually, we've seen Cookies in this tournament before, skipping the support cruiser here because he knows that the long distance binding is not very, Oh my gosh, did you just say that? Wait, did he say BC is broken? Oh man, I'm so good at reading. It's one of the things I learned really well from elementary school. Well, that does make a bit more sense because Arek has always been going for BCs in the games that he plays. By the way, how do you pronounce your username? I always wonder. I've just been calling it Arek, but I don't really know what to call it. Probe here from Cookies, gonna scout the ref mode first here. If your opponent scouts you, I think it's really best to get Skimmer Fab here. You can see he's building some more salves, but I'm a little bit nervous about that. However, you know, with our omniscient godlike caster view, we know that actually this is not going to be an LAV rush. LAV tech is just now coming out, which is really late for Cookies. So if I had to guess, I would expect it's going to be some eco boom here or something. Just because there's no other way that he can spend his money. But he needs actually a logistics module. Like, this salvager was probably too many to build, because now he's capped while he's trying to build his support cruiser. Gonna need to drop a, Yeah, the way he canceled that salvager, I bet he was looking to try and get it a support cruiser up, but he still just doesn't have the pop cap for it. There it is. So, you know... Too long of a distance to rush? Actually, GT is a really good rush map. It's not a very long distance, and it's all high ground from up here as well, so... You have to be really worried about rushes from GT. Not to mention the fact that LDMing is more effective than usual on this map, so... AEV Fab floated there by Cookies, but he ends up canceling it. And we've got assault ships on the queue here for Houston. Yeah, me too. I mean, like I said, in my series against Phoenixio, I picked this map so that I could do the carrier rush, so... Whoa, what the... Holy moly. This guy's going into orbit, dude. Jeez. Ah, but he forgot. A equals V squared over R. He doesn't nearly have the velocity to pull this off. Yes. I guarantee everyone in that sport cruiser is dead. Anyway, it's Interceptor Fab from Houston off of 2 base, and Railgun Tech actually coming out for Cookies now. I think that fares pretty well for Houston. But it looks like that's the situation as we move into this mid-game here. Sturdy cruiser, yeah, that's the understatement of the century right there. And Houston is teching the armor again. Once more, I should say, I love to see that. I mean, that's a good call. But Cookie's gonna check with that probe, which never died. Look at the third base here, sees, okay, there's nothing there, it's not even opened. That being said, I guess Houston has actually just finished that second PC, which is just in time for Interceptor Fab to come out, but... certainly, you know, Cookies knows that he has the eco lead right now. But the question is, what can he get done with this railgun tech? It looks a little bit suspicious to me. And fighter and gunship tech coming out now, you kind of just feel like you could have had that earlier. I think railguns for Coalition better to be used as like a reactive tech rather than proactive like this. Interceptor tech is done for Houston now. We'll see if he starts building it. He may want to be trying to hide the tech, but it's not very easy to see, so it's not clear if Cookies would even notice it if he started building. And yeah, I did notice that. Houston, as always, pretty on point with those cruise missiles. That's funny. He got the contact blip, so he figured there was a unit there, so he fired the missile at the probe. Yeah, but that's why I don't really like to get railgun tech proactively. When you have this control of the field, you actually want to be building AVs more commonly, I think. Either that or just go straight to fighter and gunship. But when you're pushed in on this side, and especially if your opponent has rails, then railgun tech can be a good answer. So, oh, I see. Houston is going straight to bombers again. He's building a base runner too. This is probably meant to kill that probe before he starts building any air units. And we got bombers from Cookies. All right, let's go, man. The double bomber strats. That'll be pretty fun to see. Cookies does have some strike fighters building though, and Houston, like I said, he might be trying to wait until this base runner can deny the probe before he builds any air. And in that case he'll be okay, but if he doesn't have any air at all, then the strike fighters are actually good answers to bombers. So, but this is gonna be a really interesting mid game. I'm excited for this. Bomber tech is done for Houston. Looks like he's going to queue those up immediately. So he needs to get vision on this air tech here, but Cookies with a delicious net here. I mean, it's going to be difficult to get vision on that carrier. Ironically, perhaps the bombers will see the carriers first, and then, you know, at that point it might be too late if the strike fighters are ready. So, a little nervous for Houston here. There's definitely a bit of a trap being laid for him. A trap of his own making, I guess I would say, although he can't possibly know it. LAVs are gonna have to push back here a little bit. Pull back, that is. Looks like this one might go down even. If Houston wants to continue to chase for it. No, he can't quite do it. He decides Workers is too close. This skim here actually suffering from a bit of high ground. I don't think it would win that. Sees the railguns too. But I like that Houston is trying to push out for vision, and it gives him the field control to maybe pick up an artifact here too. Cookies is queuing bombers up. I saw a gunship for a second, but I like the bombers better. All three at the same time. Oh gosh. Yeah. Okay, but Houston's making interceptors. That's good. Actually, if he gets Afterburner, that'd be great too. But he already has the ammo upgrade for his bombers as well. Uh-oh. This guy getting hounded on a little bit. Base runner has the smoke to protect him in case he gets vision on it again. But it looks like Houston is... No, Cookies is launching here. And Houston queuing up a lot of interceptors. It's probably indicative of too much of a float, but Mag XL comes out for Cookies too. He's just so hot, man. Get it? Because it's a desert. Ah! Here come the bombers. Interceptors are out for Houston. Is he going to use them before he sees the bombers? That's the question. No, he's going to start pulling back now. Strike fighters are here too. But the bombers are on the main base. And this PC is probably going to fall now. Now down it goes. Oh no, so Houston loses the PC there. And he loses one interceptor for nothing, but his bombers are in challenge now, and Houston can launch interceptors if he needs to. So they're gonna trade... They're gonna trade 1 for 1 here, looks like, in terms of infrastructure killed. Yeah, this is such an interesting mid-game now. Oh, does this bomber not have the 21 HP on that railgun? Oh, whoa, and there's a fight going on in mid too, but the assault ships are just having their way with these LAVs. Don't worry, Sajuk. That kind of posting is definitely appreciated here. Railgun goes down, so he does manage to finish the kill on that one. For the cost of 2 skims, but that's definitely worth it. Houston get to rebuild that PC now. Would like to see him bring his carrier over here, because you definitely want to have more defense on that side. But now they know it's air versus air, they need to get some ground-based anti-air, and that's really how you win it. That's true, he's got the salvagers, but you got a PC. I'm actually not sure who I favor there. And you can see Cookie's probably going to tech in a missile battery fab here. But Houston, he needs Afterburner and he needs missile ships. That's what he needs. Here comes that tack bomber again, though. This is really dangerous for Cookies to do because Houston can just launch and kill this thing. Yeah, he's teching Afterburner. Good. Wants to launch this now. Con F air, you know. Can't get enough of that. This is a very, very late launch, though, and he's bunching up the salves, but I guess one bomb doesn't actually kill them. Strike fighters, though, could maybe finish this off. He's got to launch. Where are these interceptors? Oh, man. Apparently Cookie's kind of backed off there, but that was way too risky. That was really messy. He needs to launch those, and he really should get missile ship fab, too. Note the big float on Cookies, by the way. He's having some trouble spending here. But missile battery fab's coming out, and that's when he'll start winning these. Come on, Houston, you gotta launch. Okay, here comes the air. Here comes the air. Bomb's gonna land square on these salvagers here. Here comes the other attack bomber. That's gonna get a kill here, but one bomber goes down already, I saw. Perhaps the second one going to fall as well. But the strike fighters are finding Houston's bomber as well. Interceptor's gonna take out another bomber, though. One bomber from Houston goes down. Oh, he needs to be so careful with this bomber, though. This is really in danger here. Interceptors and strike fighters gonna start dogfighting now. And the ground-based anti-air is building for Cookies, but it's not here yet. This bomber is still alive. Looks like it's gonna go down now, but the question is, can he get the SC as well? Looks like the strike fighters are gonna finish the job. Oh no, they're hitting the strike fighters here. Railguns are getting involved too, and this is just absolute pandemonium. Jeez. Missile batteries are out now though, and this is gonna give Cookies the edge finally. Yep, there they are, taking their first shots here. Don't manage to get any kills, which is a little bit unlucky for Cookies. But here comes the tack bomber, and he knows, yeah, this is a window where Houston's interceptors have to dock, but he's got 3 more that he built. Houston could launch here, and he could definitely do something about this. He needs to launch these interceptors faster, though. But this bomber, again, it won't be able to one-shot the salvagers, so I'm not exactly sure what it can do here. Oh, and definitely not if it's just circling over the anti-air. Ah! Get him out of there. Okay, but Houston really sleeping on the trigger again there. He definitely could have taken out this bomber too. Well, the dust settles a bit. Golly, I mean, with the missile batteries here, Cookies is going to have the lead in any air versus air fights now. But Houston has done so much damage. He's killed that third base again, and this time he didn't lose that much off of the main. Although I think these guys are idle, which needs to be fixed, but gosh dang, you know? Your air control is really bad. Well, that's relatable. I'm not so good at it either. And yeah, Cookie's had a big CU float, so he's gonna queue up a couple of LAVs, just a few. But he's got the railguns. The LAVs are gonna help too. I actually think that this is a good army comp to have here because he has all these missile batteries to defend. Probably the next thing is just to get back on his 3 base, but I think he's feeling like he's got pressure to push out right now because I don't know, because he lost too much or something. He doesn't want to go back to the base. It seems a little risky though, but Houston's army does look a little thin here. He doesn't have any rails or anything like that. However, I mean, Houston could build bombers, take out the railguns, and then these assault ships can just do whatever they like. So this is still not exactly clear that it's going to work for him. Needs to get out of here though. Strike fighters, or interceptors that is, flying up to the railguns and getting a kill without taking any losses. That's pretty good. Base runner does get taken out here. Oh, and the strike fighters try to go in for that, but that's ill-advised, but so is this! Oh, the interceptors! Oh! It ends up being a 4 for 2 there. Not good for Houston. More railguns being built by Cookies as well. And it's starting to look like maybe he can pull this off here. Cookies, that is, you know, just driving up to the base. Mortars being used there, but not super effective. Still, though, picks off an assault ship for free. What's the defense for Houston here? There's a couple of LAVs, so the assault ships are nice, but, well, that's more than a couple. But he just doesn't have any answer to the railguns here now. He's got to build something. Okay, he's taking railgun fab. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, the interceptors here are kind of launching Desperado. They know they're going to get hounded, but they've got to just try and trim out the railgun numbers. And that's fair, but you're still losing the second base too, perhaps. Or the main base, that is. It's even worse. No power at all here for Cookies, but it's still, you know, the railguns are doing the damage. That carrier just needs to tank. And it looks like Houston is going to get taken out here. Yeah, the float is definitely hurting him as well. It's not just 2.5k anymore. Railguns on the high ground here. Would love to see a marked target, but it doesn't really matter terribly much. Oh, nice hit though. Post-mortem railgun snipe. And Houston goes down. What a crazy game. That one was spectacular. Only 14 minutes, right? But oh, that's the time left. It was 15 and a half minutes. But still, that was very interesting. Let's jump into game 3 now. Mom, is that you stocking milk in our fridge?
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui, mon chéri.
Yeah, look.
A turkey. Hey, it's that time of year again. Game 3 here, gonna be tight end passage. This one again, Cookies is picked. Seems like a good map for Soban. Lots of open terrain, right? Actually, you know what though? So was GT Alt. I mean, I guess I can see why he would pick that. You see what I mean though, right? Soban, obviously, pretty tasty railguns. They like these dunes here. They like to take these sorts of positions. So, in terms of, you know, a match point game, this is a great map for Cookies to be on. What did he pick for the last map again? Boneyard, yeah. Boneyard's obviously not going to be a bad map for anybody. We've got LAV Fab coming out here. You can see Cookies only with 1 on RUs there, so he's not going to overcommit into the RUs. And I love to see it. Again, his builds are always pretty good. Does have that probe out.
Is this your phone?
Yes.
What's upstairs?
Oh yeah, I left it in the pantry, didn't I?
Yeah.
Production cruiser refinery mode coming out here for Houston. He's gonna drive on over to his second base there. So it looks like it's gonna be, ooh, AVs, nice. Oh, and for the record, you smoked it? Yes, good. Always smoke, that is essential. But yeah, it's gonna be AVs here against Ecos. That's always pretty fun to see. I don't think we've actually seen a proper AV rush in some time, so. One of Descara's old favorite builds back in vanilla. I think actually a lot for the defense is going to come down to Houston's ability to land these cruise missiles. And again, typically he's felt pretty good at it. And yeah, Descar is right. This map is very long, so. Yeah, but we'll keep an eye on the tech timings there. As Cookies has requested. Rift mode finishing now. Doesn't have any salvagers on that base yet though, but that's to be expected. He got skimmer fab here. Probably best is you, not retire. You drop one of these salves and then go over here and start mining. Just because, you know, the extra RUs are maybe a little bit less important, and you'd like to have CUs a little bit more. Here come the first AEVs hitting the field at 2740. That's not the fastest I've ever seen, that's for sure, but it's not super slow either. The problem just for AEV pushes like this is that you do need the timing to be pretty tight. It's a little too easy for your opponent to defend if it isn't. Here, by the way, Houston floating the idea of maybe getting second PC, but he actually needs fleet cap 45. I think probably best he dumps the RUs into railgun fab, but he can't know that yet. He doesn't know that there are AVs coming, so maybe a little bit more scouting would be good here. Having some extra skims would be nice that way. Right now, he's actually investing some time into killing off the probe, and he's getting railgun fab. Wow. Just totally blind. That's pretty lucky for Houston. Gets the probe too. Hey, nice. I mean, is that worth the delay mining time? I think so, but I'm not exactly sure. Because these AAVs, you know, they really don't want to run into railguns here, and if Cookies knew that that was coming, that would be a different thing. Railgun tech gonna finish just about now, and that's gonna give him enough time to build one if he starts it up pretty much immediately here. Let's check the production tab. Oh, he's building a salvager. You really want to cancel that. And he's driving the PC towards them. No, 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 no. You want to go this way. You want to go this way, Houston. What are you going towards him with the PC for? Oh, gosh. The score is 2-0 right now. This is match point for Cookies. Oh, dear. Yeah, but you definitely read it right, but then he's got to be... Okay, he's building a heavy railgun. That's maybe not the best, but it'll work. Okay, yeah, and it looks like the AAV knows he has to retreat a little bit. Houston probably not going to lose too much then, but we do have that sport cruiser coming out, so let's check the timing for when Houston can get back on 2 base. That's going to be really essential for him here. You can see he's going in with the skims because he has the railgun to get a hit on this AAV here. There's the first shot. Cookies can delay a bit with smoke, but realistically he probably has to yield the position now. This heavy railgun needs to sit up on this high ground. But if Cookies can get enough AVs, maybe he can smoke them up and jump the railgun position, but it's very, very risky to try that. Especially when, you know, the defender's advantage is so strong here. You know, all things considered, not a bad defense for Houston. I do think, though, this is actually putting him just a little bit behind here, because he's just getting back onto the base now, and Cookies is expanding onto his second as well. As far as which tech is better, though, you know, it's this map. So, I mean, I think rails are definitely the way to go. Houston is not going to mind having the railguns here. Question is air, I think. We need to know if Cookies is going for air or not. So I think Houston really wants to push with the railguns, try and get field control, then bring the sand skimmers up. Because if he waits, there's going to be a time where he can't push with the railguns because there might be air. And at that point, it's too late to get the field and check for it. Sees the AVs going on the flank, though, and I've got to say, I love this move by Cookies, actually. Just because, you know, this keeps his opponent honest. It keeps him from just jumping out here and checking out what's going on or counter-pushing or anything like that, so... And Honor Guard's coming out for Houston really quick, wow. I like it. I like it. That dang phone! Carrier power teching for him as well. I don't know what exactly that is for, but, I don't hate it. I mean, it's not like the worst thing to get here. That dang phone. Yeah, well, this skim has the right idea. I mean, Houston's starting to get a feeling that someone's behind him here. This map has a lot of air on it, which is actually something I like about it. It's a bit unique that way, but this map and, like, Torn Crater, I guess, are this way. Okay, he sees the AAVs there, so he ought to know. I mean, these railguns come over here. Oh dear. Is this skim just, like, grouping with the main? I'm not sure if he realizes. Oh boy. I'm seeing bad things potentially happening here. The party at the main. He was healing up the AAVs on the... Oh, but he has 2 base runners here, which is interesting. BC fab for cookies. Hey, you know, if railguns are good on this map, maybe sub-on BCs are just better. This is a good fight for Houston here. AVs are in the hood, but actually these railguns are positioned really nicely. I say as he starts moving them, you want to just keep him up on that dune. Oh, no, 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 don't let them get in range. Ah! This old railgun has to run here. Looks like it is going to manage to get to safety, though. Okay, smoke is going to be dropped, and Houston's main base will be safe. That's really good. That's really good. BC Fab coming out now. These 2 base runners still kind of chilling out. Yeah, you lost them amongst the salvagers. Well, that happens sometimes. Another SC comes out for cookies, but Houston this time on 3 base faster. That's going to be nice for him. Oh, nice shot. I'm telling you, man, Houston lands these missiles. Like it's tough to deal with this. His army looks a little thin. I mean, maybe having more assault railguns would be nice here, but he doesn't know what his opponent is going for necessarily, so I kind of get it. But that's where, you know, that's where the scouting has to come in. He's got to check for this carrier and see if it's air, because if it is, he really wants to have the defense for that. And if not, he can keep building this kind of army, and I think he really wins out in the field here. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Zonks. Spew. Only a linguist could think of such a sound. Ooh, that was a pretty close shot there on the cruise missile. Here's the honor guard though. Cookie's feeling cool with that TJ, but there it is. Manages to snipe out 2 of those LAVs here. And now that the honor guard is here, I mean, Cookies really can't push into that. He's got to just get BCs for it, I guess. And he's got the tech, he's got the money. I think he's just fleet capped here, so expect to see some BCs really soon now. Yeah, there's the logistics module. I think he can Q2 right now, although it might cost 800 CUs, but... Actually, looks like he's going to pivot into railgun tech. I do think that's a good idea. It might sound counterintuitive with sub-1 BCs being this giant railgun, but the counter to sub-1 BCs is railguns, I generally think. They do outrange them, not by much, but they do. And they definitely out-DPS them, it's just that the BCs are tankier. And that being said, that fight can still go either way, but I generally think that railguns have a favorable matchup into sub-1 BCs. Not assault railguns, though. I don't think you really want those. 850, dang, yeah. But I can see why. It's a good unit. It's a really good unit. I mean, we've seen it a lot this tournament so far. Even I've been building it. Two honor guards, though. I mean, that's, you know, that's nothing to sniff your nose at. And, you know, Houston doesn't have much in the way of, like, sand skimmers or anything, but he's got 2 honor guards. That's a good answer to LAVs. Does require on positioning, though, right? Like, as you can see, Houston gonna notice these LAVs just now. They're boosting into the main base. He's got to bring someone back there. And the honor guards are not split. They're both together, so they can't go over and cover this area. Uh-oh. Yeah, I want this to go to 5 games, too. The EMP, though, you're right, actually. Like, EMP on the heavy railguns is something we don't often think about, but it can make a big difference in a fight like this, when you have honor guards versus BCs. Might be kind of nice to have right here as well. Houston kind of offering the salvagers as a sacrifice. Oh, no. Oh, the death packs! Oh, that was really close to killing the whole blob. What the heck? He's gonna bring these skims back, and I think actually he'll be okay. He actually has extra salves over here, so even if he loses a couple, that's alright. That's a little funny. Here come the skims. Are there any upgrades though? Yeah, he does have damage 1, but that's not really gonna make enough of a difference, I don't think. The assault railgun does fall though, so maybe there's an option to backstab with AAVs here later. But Cookie's kind of pulling his opponent back and forth here. That's what you want to see when you're behind on army, because it buys you time to not be behind on army anymore. See what I mean? Here come the BCs. Uh-oh, and Houston in danger of throwing his carrier here too. This is a serious threat. And the AVs need to jump on the honor guard. They can kill this thing right now. That would be so huge. Mark target being used as well. Holy moly, this Conf carrier is hurting a lot. He needs to get his railgun skims and everything in here as fast as he can. Oh gosh, this carrier might just be dead. Whoa. Wow, now that's some damage output. Jeez Louise, man. Well, that happened. And look, he did it. He got the honor guard. Oh man, that was crazy. Now there's a man after my own heart, huh? That's a bona fide carrier throw if I have ever seen one. Dang. Well, good job, Cookies. Gonna grab the 3-0 there. But Houston really fought back. That was a cool series. Especially game 2 with that air war. That was just insane. I agree, A-Game. If this one went to 5 games, man, that would have been a banger. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully there will be some more groups, upper bracket games to cast before too long. I'm really excited for this one. Not least because there's prize money on the line, you know. And Houston, of course, can contact me for information for where I should send the money, and he can become a professional gamer. Pretty cool, huh? Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you in the next one.